Hey,
What's up?
we are here right now at the Worship Hangover.
Yeah, I'm Zach.
I'm Dallas.
And I'm Mick.
This is Mick. Mick, we're glad to have you here, first of all. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Can you just kind of tell us where you are, what's your role, kind of what's life like right now?
Yeah, I work at Crossroads Christian Church. It's a church in Joliet.
Are you positive?
That's what everybody's shocked about on this
It's
podcast.
crazy.
Right.
But no, we're in Joliet, Illinois, and we started back in 2007. I started 2 weeks before our grand opening, and I'm in charge of all of our creative arts, worship, production, all that stuff.
So you've been here the whole time.
I have.
I hadn't put that together.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you came like a year or so later. So I don't know why.
Yeah, no, I started, I can imagine the pressure that Matt, the lead pastor, was in, because literally it was 2 weeks before we opened and said, hey, this is who we are, that I came on staff.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so,
awesome.
just hope this works. Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I remember the first Sunday that I was here, there was a guy that came up afterwards and introduced himself, and he's like, yeah, I play bass. And I was like,
Sweet.
all right, I'll see you next Sunday morning. And the whole week I was like,
Is he going to show up?
well, that and like, can you really play bass?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He said he can.
We are not big enough for auditions yet.
Like, oh boy, it ended up being great, but
Yeah.
it was just one of those like, that was probably not the wisest decision.
Yeah. That's
But it turned out well.
It turned out great. You played upright. It was so cool.
oh,
For
that's
real?
awesome.
Yes,
That's
it was
fantastic.
awesome.
I had a buddy
That's
in college who did that.
Yeah.
And I always ask when I led, I was like, "Can you play your upright with us?" That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it was really cool.
Sweet.
So you guys started as a church that was closing down and relaunching,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And so you came in 2 weeks before you reopened. So what was that first Sunday like?
It was pretty. It was fantastic, but we had no idea what to expect.
Okay.
Right.
We did the mailers, we did all that stuff. I was still terrified to just answer the phone at that
Right.
point, and I was just like, all right, let's do it. And we had, I think, just under 300 people that first Sunday, which, of course, that's launch Sunday, so people come to support and all that stuff. So
Right.
I think we ended up being just under 200 roughly.
Yeah.
But it was like just like leading up to it. It's like, okay, we've got all of our ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Unlock the doors and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it actually ended up being really good. In hindsight, it was 2007, so video wasn't as big as it is now.
Right.
It would have been great to have actually recorded the service. And,
Sure.
done some of that so we could look back and just be like, man, we were dorks.
Yeah.
But it's just
Is what it
it
is.
is what it
Yeah.
is.
There's
Yeah.
so many times that we've done things and I've just been like, man, I wish I had documented this somehow.
Yeah. This is a great idea. We need to put a video camera behind us.
Yeah.
That way, when crazy things happen, we can show other people what we see.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh, you mean
people,
while we're leading, while we're speaking?
Yeah.
And all that?
Yeah. That
people
would be
have no
awesome.
idea the things that we see.
Like
No.
if I could have a push of a button that I could just step on it and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
interrupt the screen with what I'm looking at right now.
Let me show you the montage of you leaving service at the exact same time every week.
Right.
Let me show everybody your face when your cell phone rings for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Let me.
People know it's you.
Oh, there's so many things.
Or like the people who stand up and start screaming at stage. That's happened before.
I've had a lady that was wearing like a giant muumuu that had a cat. She had an eye tattooed on her face, a bunch of rings, and she had a cane. And she started dancing in the middle of the aisle
Oh, nice.
while we were singing,
Nice.
swinging her cane around.
Nice. Have you had
It's
okay?
crazy.
So you guys, if you don't know Crossroads is getting much bigger now,
Yeah.
and you guys are in above 1,000 at this point.
Yep.
And stuff. So you probably have all kinds of crazy stuff happen. Have you had tambourines, or have you had like ribbons? Have you had like what's the craziest?
Nothing
thing?
impromptu. We're pretty.
Okay.
Our services don't really encourage people to
Right, of course.
bring their own.
I mean, who
things.
does? Right.
Hey, I have this tambourine in my pocket. Yeah.
There's a guy at our town who gives every child who comes in, he gives them like a maraca, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
I mean, that's cool for like a house church, maybe. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Or once.
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 Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like you learn your lesson after once.
There was a lady
Okay.
who she did it pretty quietly,
Yeah.
and but I could see her bring out her 2 little sticks and just like this while we were playing. And I'm like, you do you. Like,
Yeah.
it's great.
Cool. So, Mick, tell us kind of how you got to where you're at. Like, did you grow up in the church? Did you go to where'd you go to school? When were you called in ministry?
Yeah. So I guess we'll start. Like, I grew up in the church.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's been 20 weekends of my life where I haven't been in church.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in a small town in Iowa.
Okay.
Southwest. It's called Atlantic, like the ocean.
I'm from Northwest Missouri.
Yeah?
Yeah, Maryville.
Oh, crazy. There's some people from Atlantic that would go to college in
Yeah,
Maryville.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know
what y'all talking about, but okay.
in Atlantic, it was about 7,000 people, which was actually like a metropolis for Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
But I grew up there, went to CIY right before my freshman year of high school. And there was this dude who, I can actually get you guys a picture, which would be cool. Because if you guys know who this guy is.
We can face
Yeah.
Bam!
He's right here. I don't know.
That would be awesome if you pull that.
I'm going to try.
All right.
We can do it.
I'm not sure I'm that good at this stuff yet, but we're going to try it.
I can help you.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I don't know who he is. If you know, I'd love to know him. But in the afternoon at CIY, there was these big break sessions, right?
Yeah.
To do whatever, go take a nap, whatever you did. So in the dorm room that we were staying in, it was actually at the Carbondale College. I don't think they do one there anymore, but this guy would be playing his acoustic guitar. He'd be playing Green Day, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And he showed me a couple things, and it was like playing on one string, So this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I go home, and I'm like, Dad, I want to learn how to play guitar.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right. So he showed me how to tune the guitar. We bought a poster with all the chords on it, put it on the back of my bedroom door, and started playing. And eventually got involved with the worship team at the church I was going to. And by the time I was 16, I was actually helping lead worship there. And so then I wanted to do that for a career. I wanted to be a pastor, but not preach, do music type thing. So at the time, I was looking at different colleges. This is back in 2001, 2002. And Cincinnati Christian University, that's the name of it now. They had a program that was a ministry degree with an emphasis in music, not a music degree with an emphasis in ministry.
Okay.
And that's what really drew me there. Plus, Cincinnati's a cool city.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All that stuff. So, 12 hours away,
Yeah.
and I'm an only child, so that was pretty tough for my parents. But did that. Ended up meeting my wife there, and after I graduated college, there was about 3 months, and this was back when MySpace was a thing. So I created a MySpace account.
Oh yeah.
And had some videos of me leading worship, and so I would send out stuff to churches that were looking, and Crossroads is one of them. I always wanted to do church planting, but after my junior and senior year of high school, I interned at the church plant in Des Moines, and so I really got that bug to want to do church planting. And so I thought I was going to have to go to a more established church for a while, and just I was 22, 23 years old.
Starting out.
But it just worked out with Crossroads, and I interviewed. A month later, I was here.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, we launched.
Yeah. So what you're saying, Matt's a little bit crazy.
Matt's something else.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's
awesome.
not afraid to take a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Which is probably part of why we are where we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't know who Matt is, Matt's senior pastor here.
Yep.
Yeah. So absolutely.
Cool.
Just a random question.
Yeah.
For
sure.
Who's doing this interview?
I don't know. I'm interviewing you guys.
Okay.
So there's been times you just get frustrated. Like every job, you get frustrated.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
For sure.
When no one's around, you just yell. Yeah. Yeah.
I've definitely anger prayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't angry prayer. This is just flat out just yelling at the top of your lungs.
No, I remember
Like a
when
scream.
I don't want to.
It sounds like it.
When I am on the phone on my cell phone, I will walk around the sanctuary at our church.
Yeah.
And I walk through the aisles and everything. And there are times where I've hung up the phone and just be like, "Yeah, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when I'm alone.
I will moan. I've never just screamed it all out, but it sounds amazing.
It is.
It's
like you want to throw your phone.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But to keep from having to spend another
Only do
thousands of dollars
that
later.
on the day that you know you're going to go to like straight to the cell phone store and get a new phone.
Exactly. No, I've like thrown my
Although
phone as
nowadays-
hard as I could into my couch.
Yeah.
I've done that.
Yeah.
And then 2 seconds later you're like,
Because
I
what
heard it.
Are you okay, my baby?
And here's what I think it is about that. I think what it is that in ministry, your transactions are people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you're talking with someone and you're like, listen, I know that this is the best way to live your
Right.
life. Like,
Right.
period. And you're fighting me about this because your experience tells you, or the media tells
Right.
you, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the reason your life's this way is because you did this and
Yeah.
this and this and this
Yeah.
Yeah.
and this, and now you're suffering the consequences.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about these things, not this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you don't get these fixed, and it's like, well, I want this to fix. I don't want to change this.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. Yeah.
Got to put in the work.
And so then you're like, you see it so clearly, and they obviously are self-blind.
Yeah.
And there is nothing worse than trying to change a self-blind person.
Right.
Or nothing harder. Maybe.
Aren't we all blind to things though?
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure. We're all
100%. I'm
self-blind.
the worst at evaluating ourselves. Dallas sends out like once a quarter or whatever staff. What was it called? Staff
Review.
evaluation,
Yeah.
and like he makes us take this quiz on
yourselves.
on myself, and I'm just
Introspection.
like,
yeah,
this is the worst.
right.
I just don't like doing it. It's not that. Yeah.
I'm very intrigued by my own motivations. Like, so.
Which is why you're getting into that one thing. What is that?
Well, I've been reading a little bit about Enneagram, which is okay. I don't know how intrigued I am with Enneagram, but I'm very intrigued by my own motivations.
Yeah. Food.
Yeah, for sure. And so I'm very intrigued by that. So I think it's very healthy for people to ask themselves, why not just even why am I angry, but why does this thing in particular make me angry?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, why do I get angry about this?
Yeah.
And things like that. Like, I think those are good questions.
Yeah. Journaling helps with that too.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're
Or
a
not
journal
normal
person.
with that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, sometimes I'll be upset. Like, I'll be upset with Matt or my
Yeah.
wife or whatever, and I'll journal about it. And I'm like, I'm an idiot. Like,
Yeah.
why am I mad about this? Like,
Yeah.
Like,
That's actually, so my wife and I, if we get into an argument,
yeah.
that's how we apologize. We'll just be like, yeah, sorry, I'm an idiot. Like,
Mhm.
this is just me being an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've definitely done that.
It's funny. I remember that I got mad at my wife a couple days ago. I don't remember what it was, but I do remember being like, sorry.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have got mad at you for that.
Yeah, like, and it's code for, like, if I'm like, what's wrong, and she says, I'm just being an idiot, or vice versa. It's code for, yeah, I am mad at you, but I shouldn't be. This is dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Oh, do you ever get mad about things that haven't happened? Like,
Yes.
I will, like, a situation will begin, and, like,
You play out the whole scenario in
I
your
will
head.
play the whole
Yes.
scenario in my head. My wife and I will have an argument, and, like, we will be screaming and yelling at one another, and mad. None of it happened except one sentence.
Yeah.
Like, or one interaction, because, like, I'd be like, oh, look at this, and she'd be like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, she's mad at me. I bet this is what she's mad at me for. And this is why she shouldn't be. And I'll get all like pin up about it. And then I'll stop for a second. I'm like,
I feel like
none of this just happened.
this is how jelly jars start flying in relationships.
Maybe. But I have become pretty good at, like, once I get down the rabbit hole, bringing myself back out eventually.
Yeah.
But, like,
I don't
it's
do that too
dangerous.
often, though.
You don't?
No.
That's good.
There are certain people that I can get, like, pre-worked up about, but my wife isn't one. Like,
That's good.
Like, it's usually someone who, like,
Does he lie?
no, like I don't get pre-worked up about her. I just
That's
don't.
good.
I don't know
That's
why
good.
that is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We have a pretty even. We're pretty even keel in our
Yeah.
relationship,
Mhm.
emotionally, like that.
Yeah.
Like, even tempered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife and I don't fight often.
Yeah.
In fact, I couldn't tell you a single time. Like,
Yeah.
What we fought about.
Yeah.
But I do. I mean, two people living
Yeah.
together.
There's
Sure,
always
you get-
friction.
Yeah.
Friction happens.
But
But yeah.
We don't fight hardly at all, except in my head.
why do you think that is?
I don't know. Like, I feel like we're very forgiving people.
Yeah.
And so, like, even if something's bothering us, we recognize it's probably not that important.
I think the gospel gives you grace, right?
Yeah.
It teaches you grace.
Yeah.
I think that Christians enter into marriage with the mindset that this is forever, so we got to just fix whatever's going on.
Yeah.
Let's work it out, not
Yeah.
be quick
Yeah,
to
I
move
tell
on
you
to
what,
something else.
we
Yeah.
we did premarital counseling with the campus counselor at
Yeah.
KCU, and like I couldn't tell you his name, and I couldn't tell you 99% of what we did.
Wait, KCU, Kentucky?
Kentucky Christian.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's the enemy.
He is. Yeah.
Well, so I can
years?
only. I was there for a long time. I was there from 2000 to 2007.
Okay. I went to college from 2002 to 2007.
7. Okay.
So, like, there's a chance that... Did you ever go to Cincinnati?
Like yeah, like for
Basketball?
sports and stuff. Yeah.
There's a chance that we were in the same room at some point.
Whoa. Whoa. Yeah.
Did you guys just become best friends?
I don't know. Maybe. We're still enemies.
Right.
What was I saying?
It doesn't matter.
When I was at KCU, I remember the only thing that I remember about premarital counseling. Joy and I talk about this all the time. The first question he asked is the only thing I remember. He said, "So, what would it take for you to get a divorce?
Mm-hmm.
Like, name it."
Wow. That was the
And
first question?
that was
That's
the
a
first
great
question.
first question.
Wow.
He said,
That's
what would it take?
It's not like, how'd you meet? Like,
No.
tell me your story.
That is
was-
a great first question.
What would it take for you two to get a
I
divorce?
support that guy.
And he asked me and he asked her, and I was like,
Because
like, it would have to be like you are harming our children, and
yeah,
like it is dangerous.
because your answer to that question will tell me if I'm going to do your wedding or not.
Exactly.
Man,
That is
great.
That is a great first question.
You're welcome.
And that
I've
sets the
never
tone
done
for, like, the
premarital
rest of the-
counseling.
It does.
I've never done
No?
premarital counseling, but if I ever do,
Have
That's
you
my
have,
first
have I known you for like 6 years and you've never told me this?
I don't know. I don't know.
You think that'd be helpful?
Hey, you're welcome.
Thank you. I'm stealing it.
Dude,
Like
that's fine.
whoever did your premarital counseling, I appreciate.
That's
I
pretty genius.
I legitimately don't know his name.
I found that I say no to a lot more weddings now than I used to.
Why do you think that is? I'm the interviewer.
Yeah, whose interview is this again?
I'm just curious.
Because
I like to ask a lot of questions.
Because I feel a very important connection to the people that I perform their marriages.
Yeah.
And I've had a few marriages that have ended in divorce.
Yeah.
At this point. And so in that, like, I feel that weight on my shoulders.
Yeah.
For the health of that relationship. So if I don't see two people who will work on it, I'm not going to do it.
Right. And I remember,
So.
if you want to edit this out.
And it's not that every divorce is two people who just won't work on anything, right?
Right.
But that it's that I don't want to feed the frivolous divorce cycle.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about coffee earlier.
Yeah.
How you take your coffee?
Do you
Black.
still home roast?
Well, no. So, I did,
Okay.
and I would just use a popcorn popper. I
Okay.
never
Yeah, I've done
upgraded
that.
to
Uh-huh.
the
Yeah.
awesome machine you have. I want to, but
Mhm.
you know, it's not cheap.
Low on the urgency scale.
Exactly.
It's very low on the urgency
Yeah,
scale.
I get it.
So, so I actually found that as long as I get like not like super commercialized coffee that's roasted,
Yeah.
I can find it for a pretty
Yeah.
good price. I'm not too particular on the coffee specifically, but at home I have it's ridiculous. I have way too many ways to make coffee.
Me too.
At home I have an espresso machine, so I usually make an Americano for myself every morning.
Okay.
I have a vacuum pot, so I can do that, which is just fun to see. You know,
Show
go
and
through
tell. Yeah.
that. Chemex, French press, the Italian espresso, the Turkish coffee, where you have to like put it on the heater, pull it off, put it on the heater, pull it off.
Yeah.
You know that stuff. Pour over all that stuff. But here at the church, I don't have an office.
Yeah.
So work out of a backpack essentially.
Right.
So I don't have a good place to like store,
right.
pour over and things like that. So I found this guy, and I absolutely love it.
It's like a French press in a cup.
It is a French press cup.
Really?
And
that's pretty
the cool
sweet.
thing about this one is it's actually got a double filter.
Cool.
So you get your big grime and then your little, and so you don't get that that last sip of like
That's made by Espro?
Espro. Yep.
Yeah, so I have the big French press that Espro
Okay.
does. Yeah, and I love
But
it.
it's fantastic. And what's crazy is
Yeah.
I'll do it and I won't put the lid on, and it'll stay warm
Yeah.
like this for a couple hours.
Wow.
And, which is good because I'm a sipper. I don't like
Yeah.
drink my coffee.
Alpha, if you're watching this and it's
Espro?
Christmas time, Just saying.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's bro.
that's bro.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
That is pretty sweet.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love the big
Yeah.
I've got. It's great.
So that's what I
Cool.
typically make here at the office. But what's awesome is we, as a church, started doing coffee from Collide Coffee.
Yeah.
They are with Go Ministries, and part of their thing is when you buy coffee from them, it helps support like hospitals and stuff in Haiti,
Okay.
That's
Dominican, and so and it's really good coffee.
Yeah.
So and it's from the Dominican. Like how often
Yeah.
do you drink coffee from the Dominican?
Yeah, and I'm a home
You know?
roaster, and I
Right.
don't know that I really ever have.
Yeah.
Right.
And so.
You have some made here, or do you know?
Yeah. I
I'll
can,
have to try some.
Okay,
But-
yeah.
Okay, great.
I can send you home with some beans even. So,
Oh, cool.
but we've been doing that, and so what's cool is I don't even have to keep my own grinder here anymore,
Yeah.
which I did at the other place because we
Yeah.
had Maxwell House.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, so
If
My-
you're doing
my-
Maxwell House at your church, stop.
My
Yeah.
in-laws drink Maxwell House, and they bring it to my house.
Yeah.
And I feel dirty.
that's what my
when it
in-law,
comes
or
in.
that's what my parents do.
That smell, man.
Oh.
Even just the smell. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that Maxwell House in Folgers just smells like cancer.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I forgot what it
It's
is.
not
There's with coffee, first wave is like that, and then there was second wave, which was going to coffee shops.
yeah.
And then I think we're on third wave now,
Yeah.
where people are home roasting. There's more specialty shops and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's a cool thing. If you Google,
Yeah.
coffee waves or whatever, and so it's this whole culture, and that's why, like our grandparents
Yeah.
and us, there's such a disconnect
Yeah.
Yeah.
because the coffee culture has shifted so much, and it's not necessarily saying one is better than the other.
It is.
Oh, it
Although it
absolutely
is.
is.
But they are a product of what their
Yeah.
generation had,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
When we
what's funny when we switched over, one of the older ladies in our church who's almost 80 was like, I really like this coffee. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, imagine that.
So okay, so would you consider coffee a hobby? of
Oh
yours?
yeah.
So what other hobbies do you have?
Okay. Well, you're about ready to like see like the total nerdness of
That's
me, but
that's why we're here.
okay. Well, so coffee. So I kind of go through like seasons. So I'll play like my Nintendo 3DS
Mhm.
for a while.
yeah.
And it's just and I usually play games that I played as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to think about new things. I
Right.
just want to kind of mindlessly hit buttons.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, I like vinyl records. I've been collecting since college.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Bro, we need to talk.
yeah, well, you should come to my house sometime. I
Yeah.
found these speakers that were custom made that are
We're all gonna come to your house sometime.
Mhm.
it's cool.
It's gonna happen.
So, I've got a collection that I've been collecting for like 15 years.
Okay.
But that is very seasonal.
Mhm.
But something that has been consistent is Dungeons and Dragons
Okay.
and Magic the Gathering. I've really gotten into these.
Why are we not best friends?
You do these things?
I've played D&D once.
Okay.
I want to play more,
Yeah.
but I just don't have.
So
the
here's
able
what
to.
happens.
But Magic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I get to church at like 5:45 on Sunday. All right?
Okay.
Get everything on, make sure everything's where it needs to be, and then after our two services, which lands about 12:30.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do lunch, come back, do the video stuff so that it can be ready to be posted on Facebook later that day. Then have a Sunday night service. So prepping for that, rehearsing with a new group of people and all that, and then after church, I go home, set up a table, and people come over. So in the morning we're praising Jesus, at night we're slaying demons. So
That works out.
it works
Yeah.
out.
Why? What is it about Sunday night? Because we love to have people over on Sunday night, and you're dead.
Well,
Yeah.
And it's like your
It's
favorite
awesome.
relationship time.
So here's, it just worked out with the rhythm of our life. So we used to have a Saturday night service,
Yeah.
but youth group's always been on Sunday night. So
Right.
my wife helps out with that. So she would do that, and then I'd be at home alone.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna just sit here and pick my nose. So it started out with me inviting a friend over, and we'd watch Breaking Bad, and we'd drink craft beer.
Yeah.
And then he ended up moving, and so we started playing this game called X-Wing Miniatures
Uh-huh.
on a 3x3 foot thing.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
it's
Is it like HeroClix or something like that?
I don't know. I've never played HeroClix,
Okay, never
but
mind.
I mean it is miniatures and
Uh-huh.
things like that, and you roll dice to hit and block and stuff like that. well, that play group kind of dissolved because people moved, and it also was kind of expensive to keep up with.
Yeah.
So, and so you either played old ships, or you just got your butt kicked because people would get these new ships, or you sunk a lot of money into it.
Yeah. Which is kind of the same way with Magic too.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, but our play group's like super casual.
Sure.
So
Sure, I get that.
and we're okay with using printed cards, which is zero cost.
That's fair.
But
I don't know anything.
yeah.
It's like you print your own cards.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
stick them in sleeves, and why spend $200 on this card when we can just print it? But
That's not a bad idea.
it's not.
All right.
Anyway, so we started playing Magic, and dude, it is insane how many people play Magic and Dungeons and Dragons. Like Sunday night now, I can have up to like 12 people at my house just nerding out, and there's more that we could invite. I just don't.
Are they all single and live in their mom's basement?
They're all married with kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about it?
So
At one point in time, yes, they
Yes.
were all that.
But the reason Sunday night works out for me in particular is I'm off Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can stay up till 1 or 2 o'clock, easy. Other people
Yeah.
have jobs and they just kind of deal with it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so Sunday night works out really good because my wife doesn't get home till a little bit later, and we'll sit out in the garage or at the kitchen table and just nerd out. And
That's awesome.
It's fun. And so like.
I've only ever seen Dungeons and Dragons played once, and I don't know whoever was the Dragon Master or Dungeon Master. I don't even know what the thing is called, but whoever was narrating it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I cannot handle to listen to your voice at all.
Oh,
and
that's a problem.
Yeah.
and it's like I don't understand what's happening and just super annoyed. I think I'm gonna go somewhere else right now.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like one of those things. It's like using Photoshop. Like I tell people with those things, the learning curve, it's like super steep at the beginning, and then once you figure it out, like then it's just a gradual increase, right?
Yeah, right.
Same with D&D. Like if you're never play that, like how do I make a character? Well, you got to roll 6 d6. Well, what's a d6? It's a dice with 6 sides.
Right.
Yeah.
And like there's just this whole like lingo and all this stuff. Like what's Constitution? What's Wisdom? Like how does that affect my character? And all this stuff. And
So what game shop do you frequent?
there's one in Shorewood called Paper or Plastic.
Okay.
I'll stop by there. But I really like supporting like a brick and mortar. But probably the best game shop to go to is Amazon.
That's fair.
Yeah. But that's one thing I love about D&D is you buy your player's handbook and your dice, you're done.
Yeah, that's true.
I love that.
Do you ever write your own?
Not yet.
My wife gives voice lessons, and she gives piano lessons, and this one girl she gives voice lessons to, and this girl, she's homeschooled, she's a really cool girl, but she writes her own. She's a dungeon master, and she writes her own stories, and she just has notebooks. She brought them over one time and showed me notebooks upon notebooks of all of these characters and all these things. I'm like, oh my gosh, how many hours and hours have you put into this?
But if you think about it, how many hours and hours do most people spend watching TV?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So they're just using that as a creative outlet and doing something else.
Sure.
Everybody's got a hobby that they dump too much time into, right? I mean,
Right.
That's the reality of life.
So that actually fills the role. I don't watch much TV.
Yeah.
So I'll do that. I'll paint miniatures.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed doing that recently. A lot of times I'll have like Dragon Ball Z playing in the background. I'm not kidding. I'm like super nerd. So
there's no judgment.
All of these things are like. Here's what's funny to me, right? So this is a pastor's like video thing, a pastor's audio thing. And 30 years ago, the church was like telling kids that they couldn't do these things.
Yeah.
And now we're those kids that have grown up to become pastors, and and they're using them for ministry.
Yeah, dude, there is.
Eat it, Mom.
Yeah. This is the first time where I'm having regular relationships in my life.
Yeah.
Of people that are not Christian.
Yeah.
And don't go to church.
Yeah.
That has not happened other than when I was in public school.
Yeah.
And now these people are coming to my house and hanging out for 5-6 hours at a time.
Yeah.
And I'm building these relationships with them.
And that's huge.
Yeah.
100%. And that's the reason. I help out with a musical in Wilmington.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I do it.
Yeah.
I'm now interacting with students who I'd never be around.
Right.
Otherwise.
It's awesome. And it's hard too because I mean ultimately the end goal with everything is to make heaven bigger, right?
Right.
But like, it's hard because I don't think it's a good thing to have relationships with people just for that.
Right.
And so I think we need to have relationships with people because we care about them.
Yes.
Right.
And as a byproduct of that,
Because
you know,
we care about them,
because
we want
we
them to go to heaven.
authentically care about these people. And so,
Yeah.
you know, that's been something, you know, like, will these people come to church? And that, like, I hope so. That'd be
Yeah.
great. In fact, I would like that. But if they don't do that, they're still welcome at my house.
Yeah.
They're still welcome to come and
Yeah.
nerd out and all that stuff. And so it's interesting. And like I said, it's the first time that I've had like these actual relationships with people in this situation. So I'm learning how to navigate that
Yeah.
as well.
Absolutely.
Stuff, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my best friends in the town that we live in is a person who he's come to FCC a few times, you know, but like he's not, he would say himself, he's not a believer. He wasn't raised to be believers, you know what I mean? Like his house was very non-Christian household, you know, growing up. But he is a person who we just connect well, and he knows I'm a pastor, and that's okay. In fact, I did his wedding for him, you know, and things like that. And we're just friends, and our friendship it's not transactional. It's not based on whether or not he will come and be a part of FCC. It's based on the fact that we genuinely just have a mutual affection for each other.
Right.
And I hope he learns to love Jesus by being a friend of mine.
Right.
I know that he doesn't have a negative taste of pastors because I can be his friend even though I'm a pastor.
Right. I tell you what, an awesome story I have about that is some of my parents' really good friends when I was growing up. They were called we called them Doc and Mary. It was Mary and Roger, and they were really awesome people, great Christians. You know, they were the leader. They were maybe 10, 15 years older than my parents.
Yeah.
And they were discipling my parents as they were coming up. They had neighbors who were very Jewish.
Yeah.
In their faith, in their, you know, in their
Is that like
cultural.
very pregnant? Is that like very pregnant?
I don't know what that means. I mean, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
They
I'm
were
trying
Jewish.
to.
They were practicing Judaism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They and like they were very devout.
Yeah.
But they were just like, we're gonna love them, and we're gonna become great friends with them, and
These people know that we care about them because they're our neighbors.
Yeah. And they were called Fanchon and Manny. That's their names. On Manny's deathbed, he pulled Raj real close, and he said, "I just want you to know that I've been a Christian for a few years.
Yeah.
I haven't told anybody because my wife would like lose it, but because of you and because of your actions, I believe in Jesus, and He is my Savior." And I was like, you know, and this is, I'm away at college at this point. But I'm like, man, that is such an encouraging thing. Like, they were friends all their life. They hadn't seen any of that fruit other than they had really good friends.
Yeah.
And people that they cared about. And I was just like, oh, that's so awesome. That's so encouraging that, you know, never give up on that. But that's not the only reason we need to be friends with non-believers.
Yeah.
So we love people not only so they will fall in line with Christianity, right? We love people because we've been called to love people.
Absolutely.
Right, exactly.
You know.
So, and I think that I love this. I think that that's a really great point to end this conversation on, and just to call to love people, right? So thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
Anybody who's watching this, we really appreciate you. Anybody who's listening to this, we really appreciate you. If you could like it, if you could share it, subscribe to it. If you want to be a part of it, reach out to us. You can email us. Our information will be attached to this. Pray for us, and just know that we're praying for you.
Yep. We'll see you later.
Bye.